Shalom. This is Nizama Shalhamadabar Yasharal on my channel, Nizama the Hebrew Mystic Healer. Before we get started, I'd like to show some love to my 3D Ken, the 12 tribes of Israel scattered to the four corners of this third dimensional earth plane of existence. Much love and shalom to you. I'd also like to show some love to my cosmic kin, scattered to the 12 dimensions of this universal egg matrix. Much love and shalom to you as well. And as always, show some appreciation to my viewers, especially those of you who are subscribed. If you're not yet subscribed, please do so now, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Also, if you like this video, be sure to tell me and give it a like. It helps. Thanks, guys. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Galactic Center, aka the 13th dimensional gateway, the cosmic wound into the cosmic womb, or the primordial void. The Galactic Center is literally the center of the Milky Way galaxy. And although it's not talked about in mainstream science, because as I mentioned in a previous video, NASA is a very deceptive group, so they do not reveal the true structure of the universe, although the CIA has documents of the holographic egg nature of this universe. So within this holographic egg universe, as I talk about in other videos on my channel, there are 12 dimensions. But the 13th dimension, linking to the 13th chakra vortex point, is actually the cosmic wound, which means it is literally the opening and gateway between this universe and the primordial void. So how it would appear is it is a vortex that goes down through the center of the egg. So the Galactic Center is literally a spinning vortex through the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So hypothetically speaking, if we were to enter the center of that within our, high vibrational light bodies, fully activated light bodies, we'd be able to actually access and leave through the universal egg. Hypothetically speaking, through the top or the bottom, we'd be able to enter into the void. So what does this placement reveal? It wouldn't be an incarnation. It would technically be anyone that has this featuring within their actual birth chart. It's going to have more to do with how it influences them, which I'll get to. But there's also a high likelihood probability, especially if the person who has this in their birth chart is a primordial, meaning they existed not only outside the universe, but actually came from the primordial void, first and foremost. They're far more likely to have this in their chart. In fact, I have only seen people that are primordials have this placement within their chart. Does it mean that you will for sure have this placement in your chart if you are a primordial? No. Does it mean that every person that would have this placement in their chart is a primordial? No. But it does point to the high likelihood of it. And if you actually have this as a placement within your chart, it's going to bestow a very free-spirited, creative, and I want to say creation and destructive current. So creation, destruction current, meaning the actual primordial Kundalini current. It's going to, someone that has this placement is going to be a creator, and they're going to create out of their own void vortex. So if their vortex is spinning in one particular direction, they will be taking in energy. So this can be seen as destructive to some. So they can literally consume energy in and then fractionate it and change it around and contribute it to what they want to create. And then when their vortex spins the opposite direction, and they're actually, it's kind of that breathing in and breathing out, and they're projecting out, they become manifesting and creating. So people that have this within their chart or are primordials are going to be able to tap into that void energy. They're going to be able to create or destroy seemingly out of nothing, but really they can access that zero point. They can access that still darkness, but yet that is really on the other side of the Galactic Center, because the Galactic Center itself it's the circuit, it's the vortex, it's the spinning gateway. that leads to the void. So it's much like, I would compare it to the birth canal of the womb. So the primordial void, or the primordial womb, or the dark womb, would be the uterus, the womb itself. But the gateway, the 13th gateway, the Galactic Center, the Hunab-Ku, would actually be likened to the birth canal. So that's how I would explain it. And again, as I've already mentioned, this really symbolizes, in more ways than one, the creative principle. But depending on whether or not people that have this as a placement or they are primordials, they can be very destructive or very creative. And they can create by seemingly, it may seem to other people on the outside that they create in destructive means. In other words, they may destroy in order to recreate. So I wanted to kind of touch on that real quick. Now, as far as it being connected to the 13th gate, what does that mean? Well, even within our own chakra points in our bodies, we have 144 major and minor chakras within that we can access within this particular realm at this time. Extending out into the universal egg, it would technically be 144,000 major and minor chakra points throughout the entire egg universe if we were to go completely multidimensional and fully multidimensional. So I wanted to kind of point that out. So in that particular sense, we are really looking at everything through these 144 eyes, or 144,000 eyes if we want to get technical, according to the whole universal multidimensional aspect. But each one of these eyes is a vortex. So the 13th chakra point would be the vortex which leads out of the universal egg within our own blueprint, within our own true structure. So for those of us who have this, and not everyone does, because not everyone existed outside the universe, so not everyone requires this type of vortex. Not everyone's blueprint will contain this. But for those who have an existence that goes outside of the universe, for those of us who have not begun within this universe alone, we will be able to access that. And so that would be right above the 12th chakra, which would be the Godhead chakra, right? Because the 12th dimension is really the Godhead dimension. It's that vortex, that access point. So I just wanted to kind of explain that real quick. So again, Galactic Center connects from the Milky Way, going all the way down the center of the universal egg, through all the other dimensions, and up through all the other dimensions, out of the universal egg holographic matrix structure, and into the void. And within this, the people who have this placement are going to have creative destructive capabilities. They are going to be very powerful. They're going to embody that whole current or whole process. And those who are primordials are more likely to have this as an influence. Also, if you are somebody who is very connected to the Galactic Center, you may feel it very strongly if or when your particular place, other placements or other constellational placements will seem to move past it. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there. Now, I'm not going to cover more about this at this time. I just wanted to give a brief description. It's not really technically a starseed placement because it's not a star. It's actually a gateway. It's a vortex. But it is a very powerful placement for those that have it in their chart. And for those who are primordials that exist outside the universe, you are able to use this particular vortex within yourself to tap into the void in order to access the full potential of your creative capabilities as a divine being. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you did, give it a like. If you're interested in receiving a reading from me or a healing session, definitely reach out to me through my Facebook business page. You can find that in the drop-down menu. If you're interested in learning more techniques and activating these particular chakra points, including the 13th chakra, definitely check out my Patreon. I just started a couple months ago, guys, so I'm starting with more foundational work, but it's starting to become more advanced, and I'm going to have a lot of amazing techniques on there. I already do, but more is coming. So I'm going to have a lot of amazing techniques on there on how to activate and access different chakra points within your tree, on how to do advanced shadow work, how to contact ancestors and totems, how to activate your light body Merkaba, and much, much more. So definitely check that out if you're interested. I'm going to put that in the drop down menu as well. Thanks again, guys. Take care, and shalom.